can I leverage or tap into my child's deep areas of interest, which a lot of our neurodivergent kids really have quirky or very intense focuses. Minecraft, you mentioned earlier, could be, you could design a whole school around Minecraft, right? So
many do.
Yeah. So I think that first thing that parents would really want to do is start to like unpack their own ideas about what homeschooling means, what they think education has to look like, and then start to question that and start to think, okay, where can we get more creative? What could we design if we could make the perfect school for our child at home? What would it actually look like? How would it feel like for our family? How would it feel like for me as a homeschooling parent? And start from there.
Wow. And I always hesitate to kind of give parents an example because there can be that temptation to copy what someone else does, even though it might not be the right fit for your child. But could you maybe take us through an example of what a day could be like for perhaps a child who maybe has been aggressive and violent at school and having a lot of outbursts and meltdowns, and what kind of a nurturing environment could look like while homeschooling, perhaps for a 6 or 7-year-old, since a lot of our kiddos are that age?
What you would want to think about is how can we design this school together, even with the 6 or a 7-year-old, especially with a child who has demand avoidance or so many neurodivergent kids. All humans want to have a sense of control, right? And for a child who struggles more with demands being placed on them, unpredictability, all of those things can be very triggering for them and really kind of spike their nervous system. So if you even start with, this is our school. What would our school look like on our terms? What would be the most fun day? What would be something you want to learn the most about? And it might be Minecraft, but I think collaborating would be what you'd want to start with before you even design what your day is like. But you could start with, I'm happy to kind of walk you through what I did with my...
Sure, why not? Yeah, I would love to hear it. Yeah.
We started right after my child turned 9. But what we really found was we would start the day with like a morning meeting, which would be like having breakfast together and talking about things. We'd watch some fun videos. You know, there's so many like really cool animated like science YouTube channels or things. So we would kind of dive into something. I was always collecting interesting like articles that I knew my kid would be interested in, like, oh my gosh, this interactive sand sculpture.